I am Nugzarukhadze. I want to talk to you today about the clash of civilizations. I just want to give you one example. I have deliberately borrowed these words from Sam Huntington to title this editorial. Borrowed I have because I couldn't find anything more fitting and relevant for today's topic. Not to beat around the bush too long, I am talking about the recent Russian-Georgian War. Although Europe wants to take it easy and America is still undecided about the further evaluation of this flagrantly unequal confrontation, I am irrevocably tending to call it the clash between two different civilizations. Russian and Georgian. Sounds too stentorian? No way. And here is why. The notorious Soviet sham about the friendship of the nations is no longer working. Thank God. Neither is functional anymore the myth about Soviet civilization. The nations who suffered under the Soviet rule had always represented different civilizations, including Russians and Georgians. Georgia is a country of an ancient culture where democracy and tolerance was in place even in the medieval centuries. Having liberated itself from the Soviet yoke, Georgia has finally chosen its irreversible way towards democracy and genuine freedom. And this is the way of integrating into the Western Christian civilization, because Georgia, its people, its cultural inheritance, and its blueprint for the future are an organic part of the Western civilized Christian civilization. Russia is an alien to the Western Christian civilization. It has always been that way. Historically speaking, it has made a couple of abortive attempts to make itself closer to the West. But the Western Christian and the Russian civilizations will never mix. They will always reject each other like oil and water, because they are the civilizations of absolutely different contents. For Georgia, it is natural to be friends with the West. Georgia and the West know each other's tongue. They recognize each other at a very long distance. They can live together and be productive in this togetherness. Not Russia. Russia and the West are two clearly different realms. Russia is bluffing when it says it can live and act in concert with the West. The worst part of the whole thing is that the West wants to be deceived and is ready to be violated by the Russian cunning and impudence. Georgia is a natural member of the Western civilized family. Russia, if ever accepted by the West, will always behave like a black sheep of the family. Russia is very nervous because Georgia is so Western and so civilized, and Russia wants to eradicate Georgia as a civilized nation. Georgia is like a painful carbuncle on Russia's aching body, and Russia wants to get rid of the pain inflicted by Georgia. In fact, Georgia's decision to distance itself from the alien Russian civilization is the only way of its survival as a culture and as a nation. Russia's attempt to quell Georgia's appetite to be officially recognized as part of the Western civilization is Russia's way to survive. Hence the clash.